Breaking news this morning, we are live on the scene of an active Florida Highway Patrol investigation where one person has been confirmed dead.
Plus, another Central Florida burn ban pops up. We break down dry conditions persisting today, and
he's really humble, no? He always believe in difference, no? He want to create something new.
Today is the last day for mourners to visit Pope Francis before he is laid to rest. The funeral preparations are underway.
WESH 2 News Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Meredith McDonough.
And I'm Jason Guy. Congratulations, you made it here to the end of the work week, and we're looking to the weekend. It's going to be hot, and another Central Florida county grows into that list as it joins the number of burn bans. It's just increasing with this extreme drought condition. And First Morning meteorologist Eric Bursch joins us now. Eric, thankfully, though, it seems like we may have some relief on the horizon.
That's right. So we're going to be able to squeeze out a beautiful day and really a beautiful weekend. But looking ahead to next week, we'll start to see some showers returning to town. Tower Cam network looking just fantastic. And if you look closely on our Tavares Tower Cam, starting to see that first bit of light. Also seeing an absolutely beautiful moon. It's a gorgeous morning. 66 degrees current temperature in Orlando. It's 68 in Leesburg, 60 degrees here in Ocala. Along the shoreline, we find some 70s on the map, but either way, it's a lovely start to our day. First warning, live Doppler radar is clear, and through the day today, we'll see nothing but sunshine. A couple of clouds over top, but no scary weather at all. Temperatures climbing into the lower 80s for the beachside spots, whereas our inland communities get to the 90s. Let's discuss looking ahead to the weekend. Make sure you're ready for it. Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast in just a couple of minutes. Now at 6:02, time for a traffic check, and it is busy.
Yeah, Eric, there are two deadly crashes this morning impacting your morning drive. The one having the most impact is in Champions Gate along I-4. So for those of you who drive westbound near State Road 429, this is a look at the backups here. This is heading towards that crash. It's right at the Osceola-Polk County line. So anticipate those delays. Traffic is only getting by in the far right lane. This deadly crash was reported 5 hours ago around 1 o'clock this morning. So working to learn those details there, but for now, still not clear this morning. You can see the backups here on the map. Those travel times are about an hour and 5 minutes. That second deadly crash is in Kissimmee along Buenaventura Boulevard, right at Osceola Parkway. There is a partial closure at this intersection, but our Bob Hazen has been out there this morning. We know, Bob, you have those details. This happened around 1:40 this morning.
Yeah, and they are investigating this as a possible deadly hit-and-run crash. And I want to show you what the scene looks like at this point. Troopers are still out here investigating. They still have this section of Buenaventura Boulevard shut down while they are finishing up that part of the investigation. But they have taken the victim's body away from the scene. But as we get more information about that, we will bring it to you. I can tell you, as you said, there is still a roadblock here. Cars are going through a shopping center to get around, but it also looks like FHP is wrapping up their investigation. So hopefully this intersection will be back open to traffic soon. Covering Osceola County live in Buenaventura Lakes, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
Happening today, a plea hearing is scheduled in the case of a high school student, Shamari Clark, who is facing a number of charges. He was arrested after he allegedly made threats against Marion County teachers and schools on social media. WESH 2's Paola Tristan Arruda joins us live. Paola, he's made a number of court appearances.
Yeah, Jason, this hearing will be the latest development in this case. Clark was arrested back in January 2024, and we listened in as he stood in front of a judge for the first time. Now, today's hearing is scheduled for 9:30 this morning in Marion County. Covering Marion County live, I'm Paola Tristan Arruda, WESH 2 News.
Covering Volusia County now, this is the one-year-old little boy named Tucker who was tragically killed in Daytona Beach. Police say that two cars hit the child. The toddler was apparently chasing after the family dog into traffic along North Halifax Avenue near Plaza Boulevard Wednesday night. Police say that the drivers stayed at the scene and they are cooperating with the investigation. And investigators tell us at this time they do not believe speeding or distracted driving was a factor. After weeks of investigating, a Florida House panel is halting a probe into a foundation linked to First Lady Casey DeSantis' economic assistance program, Hope Florida.
Right now, Sonica Donge is joining me here in the studio. And Sonica, State Representative Alex Andrade says Medicaid settlement money was funneled through the Hope Florida Foundation, and that went into the hands of political groups that campaigned against legalizing recreational marijuana, I should say.
Well, that's exactly right, Jason. And he shared a timeline yesterday. He says last September, a state entered $67 million agreement for Medicaid overbilling. $10 million were wired to the Hope Florida Foundation. In October, the foundation distributed that money in the form of two $5 million grants, and the groups that received them wired $8.5 million to Keep Florida Clean. That is Florida Attorney General James Uthmire's Political Action Committee.
I know enough to know that there was a culture of deception, incompetence, and a treatment of taxpayer funds as if it was their own kind of personal piggy bank. And that just guides our role and responsibility as legislators going forward. I'll leave the rest of the investigation up to the FBI and Department of Justice.
Uthmire denies any wrongdoing. Governor Ron DeSantis is calling the investigation a smear campaign.
ACA put out the letter with all the documentation, so I would just look at that. It totally debunks the bogus media narratives that were out there. ACA had to do this. They did it appropriately, and it advanced the policies of the state of Florida, and I think those were very important documents to see.
State Representative Alex Andrade says his panel will continue to dig into the administration's spending when lawmakers return for committee meetings this fall. We'll be keeping an eye. Jason?
More burn bans are popping up this morning.
Yes, Sumter County is the latest addition to this list. It also includes Brevard, Flagler, Lake, Orange, Polk, Seminole, and Volusia. And this is all because we are very dry outside right now.
And first warning meteorologist Eric Bursch joining us now, taking a look at all of this. Eric, I know we need the rain. We're hoping in a few days it'll be here.
Yeah, it will. That's the good news, but it's going to be hot and dry for a few more days. So for today, an example, we're going to 88 degrees. Look at where our weekend journey takes us. 91 on Saturday, 93 degrees on Sunday. We're not talking about records, but we are going to be pushing these dials hotter than they've been for calendar year 2025. And also some spots getting to like 95 degrees on Sunday. So just be ready for it. We've got some pretty big heat. For today, though, Futurecast looking great. Couple of clouds over top. Otherwise, no issues whatsoever. It's 83 by lunchtime. 88 degrees our high. And look at how pretty. It's going to be a gorgeous day. More on that weekend forecast in your neighborhood, just how hot things get. But first, we've got some problems on the roads. Let's get right over to traffic expert Megan Mackey.
Yeah, Eric, there's this deadly crash. I'm continuing to monitor along I-4 this morning. This is going to impact your morning drive in Champions Gate. So traveling westbound, passing by Walt Disney World and heading towards Polk County, that is where this crash is, just west of State Road 429. You can see her blocking off 2 of the 3 of those left lanes. So traffic is getting by here on the right, but there is a lot of heavy congestion. We do know this is deadly, and it happened about 5.5 hours ago almost this morning. So still working to learn those details from FHP. Our chopper is heading there. We'll get a better look at the backups coming up in a few minutes when they get there. But that second deadly crash is in Kissimmee. This went along Buenaventura Boulevard where Bob Hazen is this morning. It's right at Osceola Parkway. So the detour for drivers is just through a shopping center. Expect some slowdowns through this area. We'll check in with those chopper pictures and those travel times in just a few minutes.
Tens of thousands of mourners flowed through St. Peter's Basilica yesterday to honor the life of Pope Francis.
And today, that tribute continues. The final day of visitation as preparations continue for the Pope's funeral tomorrow.
And we're learning more about student visas being revoked at UCF, how the university is trying to ease the blow.
Welcome back. It is 6:14. We are monitoring some breaking traffic news. There is a partial shutdown here along I-4 traveling westbound on Champions Gate. This is from an overnight deadly crash near State Road 429. A live picture from our chopper that just arrived. It's going to take you triple the time to travel from downtown Orlando to Champions Gate. We'll look at those travel times coming up in a few short minutes.
The National Weather Service will keep translating its weather alerts. The NWS re-upped their contract with an AI company after letting it expire earlier this month. And experts warned the move could endanger some of the 68 million people who don't speak or read English here in the U.S., especially during extreme weather situations like hurricanes. And this is a great time for all of us to keep in mind, we are 36 days away from the start of hurricane season. That's on June 1st.
And we are bringing in first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. And Eric, a decent active season potentially on the way. So having these alerts really could be life-saving.
Oh, 100%. It's very important. And as a matter of fact, we were just discussing in the Weather Center the other day ways that we would be able to try and get our information out in other languages, because that is a big, big concern.
For sure.
The good news, there's nothing tropical to deal with right now. The weather's pretty quiet. As a matter of fact, our big change ahead is just building heat for Central Florida. Hottest temperatures of the year moving our direction. So let's look at your weekend forecast. We've made it up to 90 for the year. Okay, that's it. Tomorrow, we'll best it. We'll do 91. And then by Sunday, we'll go to 93 degrees, and that's just in the metro. Look at some of these neighborhood by neighborhood temperatures. 94 in Claremont, 95 in Leesburg, and 96 degrees in Wildwood. So it's a hot one, absolutely. And even along the shoreline, mid to upper 80s for you. In terms of rainfall opportunities, Sunday there's a couple of showers potentially. Same idea for Monday, but Monday to Tuesday we absolutely start to see things moreover moistening up. We'll see rain opportunities for us. And the big reason is the setup that we've been under with high pressure dominating our weather picture. That completely changes, and that allows the rain to develop and storm systems to move in. So on the 7-day forecast, you see that dry stretch of weather, a sprinkle or so in there on Sunday, otherwise dry. Then Monday, Tuesday, rain chances go up 30% on Monday, 40% on Tuesday. And while not as high, Wednesday, Thursday keep a few showers, rain chances going higher, looking ahead to Friday, Saturday of next weekend. All right now, bus stop forecast, parents getting ready to step out the door, get the kids going too. We are fine. Same idea. Comfortable clothing and you'll be good to go. Beautiful start to the day here on our new Smyrna Beach Tower Cam. Current temperature out that way around 70 degrees. It's 66 in Sanford, 64 in the Villages, and 62 to wake up in Palm Bay. So for the forecast today, partly cloudy skies, 80 degrees our 11 a.m. temperature, 85 by 1 o'clock, and it's 88 degrees by 3 o'clock today. That breeze coming in off the ocean is going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you live along the coast, you certainly know exactly what I'm talking about. But the heat builds. 93 degrees our high temperature on Sunday. Showers with us Monday, Tuesday. For now, models are painting Tuesday to be wetter, but they've kind of been going back and forth. It just depends on how quickly this big, hot, high-pressure system on Sunday breaks down. So that's something certainly to watch. Along our coastal communities, same kind of idea. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful forecast, kind of like it is right now, at least in the weather department. Roads, different story, Megan.
Yeah, very busy this morning, Eric. There were 2 deadly crashes. I'm keeping my eye on our choppers cruising live over this one in Champions Gate. It's along I-4 westbound. All but the far right lane are blocked off in this area from that overnight deadly crash. It happens 5.5 hours ago, around 1 o'clock this morning. You can see here still working to clear. So traveling that way, you should expect some congestion, but cars are getting by. This is westbound just after State Road 429. So anticipate that delay. I also want to point out this is in a construction zone. FDOT is getting ready to open an additional lane in each direction here starting on Monday. So working to learn those details, really hoping it doesn't involve any construction crews heading out the door this morning. Not seeing any construction happening there right now. There's also a partial closure here, Buenaventura Boulevard at Osceola Parkway from a deadly crash in Kissimmee. This is a possible hit and run crash, but our Bob Hazen at the scene said that Buenaventura Boulevard partially has reopened in those southbound lanes. So not going to be a huge impact to your morning drive there, but you can see certainly along I-4 westbound from downtown Orlando to Champions Gate. Because of that crash, those delays are an hour and 6 minutes.
Hey, it's a sound football fans are all too familiar with. The NFL Draft kicking off yesterday in Green Bay. The top picks for our Florida teams.
Plus, another Florida team is getting ready for Game 3, the do-or-die moment facing the Orlando Magic.
Next here on Sunrise, rain isn't going to ruin any weekend plans for you.
First warning meteorologist Eric Burris is tracking the drought conditions across our area and when we could see that rain.
Plus, shedding light on school safety. One father's mission to make sure parents are aware of exactly what's going on in their child's classrooms.
First warning weather on WESH 2 is sponsored by Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Right now, there's an active investigation on Osceola Parkway. We're live on the scene where troopers say someone is dead.
Plus, new details after a stolen car chase ended in a crash and 2 people in custody as police still search for a 3rd person.
And today, a Marion County teenager is expected to change his plea. The charges he faces for allegedly threatening several local schools.
WESH 2 News Sunrise starts right now.
It is 6:30, and we're so thankful you're with us on this Friday. Those weekend plans look good because we don't have rain in the outlook, but boy, do we need it. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Meredith McDonough. Let's check in now with First Warning meteorologist Eric Burris. Good morning.
Good morning to the both of you, and good morning to you. You have almost made it to the weekend, and we've got a really nice forecast in store. Starting to get that sun coming up. There's a live look over at the Orlando International Airport. Current temperature there sitting in the mid-60s. We're in the upper 60s for some spots. We are even into the lower 70s. Just depends on where you are. But for our Friday morning, there is no weather issue whatsoever. First Warning Live Doppler radar sweeping clean. Through the day, partly cloudy skies, nice dry weather. Technically 20 minutes until sunrise, but it's already starting to get light out. 83 by lunchtime, 88 degrees our high temperature on the day. But are we building heat? Let's talk about how hot things get around town this weekend and when we actually get rain. The pattern is shifting in just a little bit. Time now 6:31. Let's get you out the door on a Friday morning, Megan.
Yeah, there is some breaking traffic news, Eric. A deadly crash I've been monitoring all morning here. It happened around 1 o'clock, I-4 westbound in the Champions Gate area. It's right near State Road 429. It is still working to clear this morning. This is a live picture from our chopper here. You can see traffic on the westbound side is getting by in the far right lane, but there is a lot of congestion moving through this area. It's also slowing drivers on the eastbound side. This is confirmed to be deadly. I want to point out this is in that construction zone where FDOT is expanding those lanes, but no word yet on what exactly led to this deadly crash. This is a look at the backups traveling in that area. And there was also an overnight deadly crash in Kissimmee along Buenaventura Boulevard. This is a look at the map here. It was at Osceola Parkway. WESH 2's Bob Hazen has been live there at the scene all morning, but Bob, that scene did just clear.
Yeah, and Megan, both lanes, both directions along Buenaventura Boulevard are now open to traffic. I want to show you what it looks like at this point. You can see cars are moving southbound and northbound. If we go a little bit to the left, though, you can see some of the troopers that are still out here on the scene, even though their investigation appears to be wrapped up. Covering Osceola County live in Buenaventura Lakes, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
Happening right now, law enforcement officers are looking for a 3rd suspect after this dangerous high-speed chase through Orange County, and we caught it from the air in Chopper 2. This was Thursday, right at the Bumby exit off 408. The chase began in Altamont Springs, and authorities say then they identified a stolen car. It had come from Hillsborough County. The chase reached some speeds of 140 miles per hour at points on I-4 before coming to the end in a collision. FHP says 2 people were arrested after running from the car. If you have any information about that 3rd suspect, you're asked to call police. And in Marion County, a high school student who allegedly made threats against teachers and schools on social media is back in court.
Shamari Clark has a plea hearing later on this morning. And WESH 2's Paola Tristan Aruda joins us live this morning. Paola, the alleged threats are all made on social media?
Yeah, Mayor, he is accused of posting those threats on the social media platform Snapchat. Now, today's plea hearing is scheduled for 9:30 this morning in Marion County. Covering Marion County live, I'm Paola Tristan Aruda, WESH 2 News.
All right, Paola. Meanwhile, a funeral will be held today for Tiru Chapa, one of the 2 men killed in last week's shooting at FSU. It's happening at 10 in the morning in Greenville, South Carolina. And this all comes as a new database has been launched just as of yesterday all across our nation. This keeps track of safety incidents in America's schools.
Sonica Dunge joins us now. And Sonica, this was all founded by a man who lost his son 7 years ago in the Parkland school shooting.
Yeah, Max Schachter lost his son Alex in the shooting there at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Now he hopes this database will spark much needed conversation, not just between parents and kids, but amongst lawmakers and school districts.
All right, Sonica. This teacher in Brevard County is asking a judge to dismiss her case. Carly Anderson was arrested after detectives say she got drunk at a party with more than 100 students. She's facing disorderly conduct and intoxication charges. Body camera video shows Anderson telling an officer she knew about the house party. According to new court documents, Anderson's attorney is arguing her actions don't support the charges. A tentative trial date is set for May 5th. but a judge could schedule a hearing on Anderson's motion before then.
A judge has rejected a new trial for this man involved in a robbery that led to an off-duty police officer shooting and killing his nephew. John Jackson has been in prison for 25 years in the 1999 holdup at the Kirkman Road Ale House. Now, he claims he did not know his nephew and a friend were planning to rob the place. Jackson also says that he was not wearing the robber's dark clothing that witnesses described. The judge says that Jackson and his new witness did not provide substantially new or credible information to change his plea to second-degree murder, armed robbery, and burglary. His attorney has 30 days to appeal.
In Orange County, a family's out of their home after this situation yesterday afternoon. You're seeing the home on Majestic Drive near Wolf Branch Road in Apopka. About 80% of this house had heavy damage from a fire, and firefighters say during the battle the roof even collapsed. The state fire marshal's now working to determine a cause. And look at this. Firefighters tackled a high-rise fire in Fort Lauderdale early yesterday morning. When crews got there, they could see these flames shooting from out of the 5th floor. One man made it out, and firefighters went in and were able to rescue a cat. No injuries were reported from this fire.
At 6:38 now, in a developing story, firefighters worked through the night in Flagler County to contain this big brush fire. So far, more than 250 acres have burned south of County Road 305. It's 90% contained. The good news, no homes are threatened in this area. Yeah. And time now at 6:38 for a check of your forecast. First warning meteorologist Eric Burris is here now. Eric, I do feel like it is this big story we've been talking about, just the dry conditions, what's happening now with the burn bans and everything we have in place.
Right, and this is always the case this time of year. I mean, this is a pretty decent drought. You know, we're in the extreme category, but this is always the end of the dry season, because think about it, come late May, our rainy season kicks in and we get those daily storms. So this is always a tough month looking at May. That said, though, we're also building the heat in this weekend. So it's almost a summer's preview of sorts. Saturday, 91 degrees, Sunday, 93. Not expecting this to be record setting, but it's going to be a hot one, so I want you to plan accordingly. For today, Friday plans are looking fantastic. Just some clouds sneaking on through the area. Nothing more than that. It's a nice and dry day. So in terms of our forecast, 83 by lunchtime, 88 degrees our high, but the heat builds the next few days. We'll talk more about it and get into event forecasts as well. Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast in minutes. But first, while it's quiet in the weather department, the roads, anything but.
Yeah, Eric, and this is because of a deadly crash along I-4. This in the Champions Gate area. You might recall I've been monitoring some construction here all week because FDOT is widening the lanes here, actually opening 2 additional ones on Monday. Now that the sun has come up, we're getting a better picture of this deadly crash. Unfortunately, it does look like it did happen in that construction zone. You can see it in the median. Right now, we have no confirmation from FHP or FDOT about if any construction crews were involved, but that FHP investigation is still going on here westbound in Champions Gate past State Road 429. And you can see here, it is certainly in that construction zone. So we will keep you updated on the info. You can see the backups here from our FDOT camera. Only traffic getting by in the far right lane here. So from a traffic perspective, expect those heavy delays here traveling towards Polk County. We'll check in with those travel times coming up in a few short minutes.
Planting seeds of growth and nurturing a sign of life in Orange County.
Yeah, we'll dig into details of a community garden taking root in Pine Hills and how you can help lend a helping hand.
Plus, paving the way for wildlife crossing busy roads in Polk County. How experts say an $18 million project will pioneer a safer way.
Closed captioning sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Dial #law on your cell phone.
You're watching WESH 2.
A new community garden is now open in Pine Hills.
It's at the Community Action Center on Jennings Road. The Arbor Day Foundation and Ideas for Us helped build the community garden for Pine Hills. It's meant to get healthy, local food into homes. The garden beds there, they use water drip irrigation, no pesticides, and also bees for pollination. It's not just for people to enjoy, but also learn and maybe even start a garden of your own.
Whether it is a seed that yields fruit and vegetables for us to eat, or a building that allows our Head Start kids to, play and have fun, or a home, it is the beginning and the sustainment of life.
From mangoes to banana trees to star fruit, 100 residents got free fruit trees to plant at their own homes. And looking ahead this weekend, you can help clean up the streets in Pine Hills. The Pine Hills Neighborhood Improvement District is teaming up with Evans High School to pick up any trash and litter. Now you can meet at Evans High from 8 o'clock to noon until tomorrow morning. Cleaning supplies like grabbers, gloves, and also trash bags will all be provided.
As more people continue to move to Polk County, a first-of-its-kind construction project is underway along a portion of I-4. The state is building a wildlife crossing over the interstate between the State Road 33 and Polk Parkway exits. This $18 million crossing will be 44 feet wide with vegetation and noise barriers.
We've documented wildlife in the area out there. There's deer on the north side, and then we've had bobcats and coyotes in the area. So we think within no time wildlife will start utilizing the crossing.
And the DOT says since it opened last year, thousands of animals have used a different wildlife crossing in another area that goes under I-4. This brand new crossing is set to be complete by 2027. Okay, the Hubble Space Telescope has now been in Earth's orbit for 35 years. Let that sink in for a moment there. It's 24,000 pounds of observation that went into low Earth orbit back on April 24th of 1990. And to celebrate the anniversary, NASA released a collection of fascinating images recently taken by Hubble. Some of them included Mars, star-forming regions, and a neighboring galaxy. Beautiful to witness.
That's all it's done?
Eric.
Seems busy to me.
Yes, so pretty, that's for sure. Also pretty start to our Friday morning. Yes, we're going to warm up, but yeah, it's a good start to your day, right?
It's going to be a great weekend, whatever your plans are, okay? You just need to mentally prepare yourself for like July, August weather.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Seriously.
So we're going to be frying at the Little League games, right?
And those outdoor plans to do some yard work, it's going to be we need sunscreen and lots of breaks.
This is why we're doing basketball, and this is
inside sports.
And this is why the yard work is already done, because it's going to be hot. Take a look, all right? We have been so dry that it just makes sense it's going to get hot. We are under an extreme drought now around central Florida. The area is highlighted in red here, and most of north central Florida under a severe drought. What we need is rain, but instead what Mother Nature is going to do is dial up the temperatures for another couple of days. But look how far behind we are. We are now nearly 6.5 inches of rain behind at Daytona Beach, 5.5 for us in Orlando. Looking ahead, though, on Sunday, Futurecast is at least illustrating a few showers trying to pop up through the afternoon. It's not a ton, but it's the first appreciable rain that we have seen in some time. And then looking beyond that, here's Monday. The GFS model says we'll see some showers. European is a little less excited about it. Both models say on Tuesday, April 29th, we'll see some rainfall. And then Wednesday, a sprinkle or two. Thursday, a sprinkle or two. Friday, rising rain chances again. So while it has been just blasted warm and dry, we are at least starting to change things around. It's been 24 days since we've seen actual decent rains in Orlando, and I think we're going to start seeing those opportunities again by next week. For now, though, it is beautiful on a Friday morning. If you're just getting up, preparing that coffee, come take a look. You've got the live view of the sun coming up over Port Canaveral. There is Utopia of the Seas getting ready for a weekend cruise, a clear sky. We can do it. Y'all, we can do it. We've got one more day to go, and then the weekend is here. 74 degrees current temperature there. It's 66 in Orlando, 63 the Villages, 60 degrees in Ocala. Nothing on the satellite and radar. You know it's going to be a good day, right? 88 degrees our temperature this afternoon in Orlando, 82 at the beach in Daytona, about 81 in Melbourne. That breeze coming in off the ocean makes all the difference for us along the coast. But yeah, we warm things up the further inland you go. 90 degrees in Leesburg, 91 in the Villages, and 92 the warm spot in Wildwood. Lots of events this weekend. We've got the Puerto Rican Parade and Festival in downtown. We'll be into the lower 90s here. If you're heading out to Jeep Beach this weekend, we are not as hot because you're at the beach, right? Totally makes sense. And if you're heading out to the Leesburg Bike Fest because you're out west, it's even hotter, 94 degrees there on Sunday. So it's going to be a hot weekend, rising rain chances for our Monday and our Tuesday. Coastal 7-day forecast does not have 90s, but got to tell you, 88 at the beach is a toasty warm day. Megan.
Eric, there's still this deadly crash I'm monitoring I-4 westbound in Champions Gate. It's State Road 429. It's right in this construction zone where FDOT is widening the lanes here. Traffic on the westbound side getting by on the far lane and shoulder, but there's a lot of congestion moving through this area. And we have not confirmed yet if any construction crews were involved in this crash, but we have reached out for some information. And this is amid Work Zone Safety Awareness Week, which I did talk about on Wednesday. So hoping all those crews are safe. But you can see here in terms of a traffic impact, westbound, a lot of congestion here moving through Champions Gate this morning towards that Polk County line. So anticipate that for your morning drive. No other big crashes right now, though, for your Friday morning. I-4 westbound, looking at those travel times from downtown to Champions Gate, where that deadly crash is, more than an hour and 8 minutes. It is 6:52 on your Friday. Your top stories are straight ahead.
First warning weather on WESH 2 is sponsored by Destin Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
We're back this Friday at 6:55.
Our Sunrise team is getting you a final check of this morning's top news, weather, and traffic. Megan, you've been following deadly crashes throughout the morning.
Yeah, this one here is along I-4, still working to clear in Champions Gate. Traveling westbound here near State Road 429, you can see a closure here in 2 of those left lanes. So heavy congestion moving through this area from that overnight deadly crash. There was also one along Buenaventura Boulevard, which has cleared in Kissimmee. WESH 2's Bob Hazen was there.
I'm Bob Hazen in Osceola County, where one person was killed while walking across the road this morning. Happened close to 1:30 this morning, and I can tell you the traffic is back open at this point, but earlier it was shut down for hours. Troopers tell me that one person was hit by a car while they were walking across. That car, though, is not on the scene. We don't know yet if troopers have been able to find that car or have any description of who was behind the wheel.
I'm Paola Trisnaruda covering Marion County, where a plea hearing is scheduled for a high school student accused of threatening schools and teachers in the district. Shomari Clark was arrested after investigators say he posted threats on Snapchat. He is facing several charges, including 11 counts of electronic threats to kill or do bodily harm. Today's hearing is set for 9:30 a.m.
Happening right now, law enforcement officers are looking for a third suspect after a dangerous high-speed chase through Orange County. Chopper 2 was over yesterday. This chase topped 140 miles per hour on I-4 before ending in a collision. FHP says 2 people were arrested after running from the car. If you have any information about that third suspect, you're urged to call police. And more burn bans are popping up in Central Florida this morning.
Sumter County is the newest addition to the list. It also includes Brevard, Flagler, Lake, Orange, Polk, Seminole, and Volusia. Eric.
All right, good morning to you. It's a beautiful but yes, dry start to the day. Tower Cam Network showing a clear sky over Tavares. Readings are in the 60s. We will work our way into the upper range of the 80s today, but it's getting hot this weekend. 93 degrees on Sunday. A few showers Monday and Tuesday.
We thank you for spending part of your Friday morning with your Sunrise team.
The Today Show is next right here on WESH 2.
Closed captioning is sponsored by UF Health.